Today we're talking about the problem with the Flashforge Creator 5. Today I'm going to give my honest review on the Flashforge Creator 5. I'm going to talk about what I like about this and what I don't like about this 3D printer. This has got to be one of the most hyped up 3D printers that I've seen in a couple of years, and it's for a good reason. This 3D printer has multi-tool heads. That means that it's actually going to switch the tool head in which each filament goes into it. That means we're going to cut down on all of this waste that the entire hobby has been hating for years. Okay, so Flashforge has sent me this 3D printer, so I did receive it for free. But I gotta say, I was ecstatic at the thought of getting it because I wanted it. Like I told you before, I think this new tech in 3D printing is going to be extremely transformative. There's only two 3D printers on the market that have these multi-tool heads right now. It's the Snapmaker U1 and the Flashforge Creator 5. So upon receiving the Flashforge Creator 5, I gotta say they shipped this extremely well. It was all packaged really super good. The setup process went pretty easily. I will say Flashforge's video for the setup process on YouTube was a bit lackluster. It didn't even have audio. So what I did for you guys is I went ahead and made a setup video for you. I'll link that in the description if you care about that. So initial thoughts on the 3D printer, like the housing and everything, I think it looks exactly like a lot of the other Flashforge 3D printers, like the AD5X. I'm guessing they're using the same assembly lines to create this. It's kind of the same build, except it's a lot more heavy duty than a lot of the other ones. One issue that Flashforge has had in the past is their OS on the display was a bit lackluster. You would like go and tap things and it was non-responsive, or it was a bit delayed. I will say I'm happy to say they completely fixed all that. The display is extremely responsive, it's decent sized, and it's really easy to use. So how the multi-tool head system works here is it starts over here with the filament. So they house the filament on these little spool holders like this. It's extremely simple. Some people are saying that they don't like that. If you want an enclosed housing for your filament, all you have to do is set a dry box right here and just feed it out. So like say here's a dry box right here, I could bring this box over here, kind of just set it on the side and dry the filament as it goes into the 3D printer. So I don't really see a big deal here. I think this simple design works and helps keep the cost savings down. So then the filament comes through here up into the PTFE tubes. I will say it is a little bit weird to have all of this up here, but it still works. So then the filament comes through the PTFE tube down into each of the tool heads. And when the 3D printer has to switch colors, all it does is it comes over to the tool head it needs and then goes and grabs it and connects. And I feel like the hobby has been waiting for this because everybody just absolutely hates all that waste. Like I just fill bins and bins of the waste. And to be completely honest with you, I stopped printing things that were multicolor that had tons of waste because I felt guilty that all this plastic was sitting in a landfill. And I will say, now that I've been using this multi-tool head 3D printer, a lot of the 3D printers here in my studio feel like boat anchors. And I don't even want to use like AMS multicolor systems anymore. I mean, maybe that's being a little dramatic, but like when you take out the waste, I mean, the technological advance here and just step up in tech, this is going to deeply change the 3D printing hobby. Okay, so that was a lot of positives about the 3D printer. Now let's talk about the problems that I titled this video with. So the first problem is the sizing of the build plate. 250 by 256 works for this build, but like I told you before, I think they're kind of just using the other assembly lines from their previous 3D printers. If they could have upped this size to like 300 by 300, I think it would have been a game changer. And when you compare it to the competitor, the Snapmaker U1, the U1 actually has a bit of a bigger build plate. So like it has that on the Creator 5, but the Creator 5 is actually a couple $100 cheaper. So it's like, do you pay that extra couple $100 for the little bit bigger in size? That's gonna have to be something you decide. So that is one problem I have. So another big problem with the Creator 5 is that there's such a demand for this 3D printer right now that Flashforge actually can't even keep up with shipping them out. If you get on the Flashforge Facebook groups, there's tons and tons of unhappy customers that have yet to receive their Creator 5. And I understand, yes, this is a problem, but if we're being honest with you, this is a very good problem to have. And I've heard a rumor, this is speculation that Flashforge is actually creating 1,000 of these 3D printers a day to ship out, and that they had around 15,000 people purchase these. So yes, this is a big problem for them. I'm sure they're gonna fix this extremely fast, but it's honestly a good problem to have because there's such a demand for this leap in technology within a 3D printer that comes at a good cost. I feel like this 3D printer is extremely affordable when you compare it to a lot of the competitors. And again, there's only 2 of them right now doing the multi-toolhead. I'm sure that'll change very quickly, but for now, that's how it is. So there's also a big complaint that the Creator 5 is not enclosed. But guess what? They actually have a Pro version that comes with a plastic cover over the top that is enclosed, and it has a door and it keeps it encased. And you might ask yourself, do I need the Pro version? Well, ask yourself this. Are you 3D printing materials that need enclosed temperatures and like fume removal? I would say like ASA, ABS, are you 3D printing those? If not, you probably don't need it. I don't think I need it. I'm mainly printing PLA, PETG, TPU, and I feel like for the general public, you probably don't even need the Pro version, but that's gonna be your call. And what I've actually been doing here is I've been cross-comparing models that I print on the Creator 5, and what I've been doing here is I've been pulling them up on other multicolor 3D printers like Bamboo Lab stuff and doing a direct comparison of the time difference and filament savings versus the 2 3D printers. And I gotta say, the multi-toolhead setup on the Creator 5 is a drastic savings in print time and filament usage and waste. I mean, it's easy to see that the 3D printer just grabs the other color of filament and then goes and 3D prints with it, and it's a huge filament savings and time savings. It kind of makes you wonder why we didn't think of this earlier in the 3D printing hobby. As far as print quality and speeds and like slicer usage, I gotta say that the Creator 5 competes with any of the 3D printers I've done videos on. It is printing at the highest level of 3D printing. Anything you can print on a Bamboo Lab machine, Elegoo, etc., it can be printed on the Creator 5. Similar print speeds, prints all the same types of filaments, and it uses a skin of Orca slicer as its slicer. So if you're used to Bamboo Studio or Elegoo slicer, it's gonna be almost identical in usage, and it's easy to learn. And I will say, every single day that goes by, Flashforge is really stepping up their game. They have a pretty good phone app that you can be using as well. Guys, can I ask one thing of you? If you're considering buying the Flashforge Creator 5, can you please use my affiliate link in the description? It does help support my family and what I'm doing here with videos. I will be honest with you guys, Flashforge sent me this for free. This is the problem with the Flashforge Creator 5 3D printer. I gave my honest review. I talked about what I like about the 3D printer and what I don't like about the Creator 5. Hit me up with any comments down in the description. I am just a normal guy in his basement after all. I will try to reply. Again, all the links will be in the description. Oh, and before you go, YouTube thinks you're gonna love this next video. Guys, this is one of the coolest videos on my channel, and you're really gonna like this video. Guys, the video's right here. Subscribe.